Hello and welcome to The Wire. We are now in the midst of the Lok Sabha elections 2024, and Kerala has conducted the polls in the second phase. Kerala is known for its political vibrance and presents a unique landscape for electoral dynamics. Kerala has a robust multi-party system where political arena is dominated by two major alliances: Left Democratic Front, led by the CPIM Communist Party of India Marxist, and on the other hand, United Democratic Front, led by the Congress. One of the most intriguing aspect of Kerala's political scene is that as the battle between these alliances, LDF and the UDF. Bharatiya Janata Party led NDA is very much insignificant in the state despite their concentrated efforts by the BJP to establish a strong foothold in the state, and Kerala has remained steadfast in rejecting BJP. And today with the wire we have uh, Kerala's Kerala's former finance minister and CPIM Central Committee member, Dr. Thomas Isaac.
T.M Thomas Isaac, welcome to the wire, Dr. Isaac. So the first question would be, how was the election campaign and what was the challenges in front of you and for the LDF from the constituency, Pathanamthitta constituency, where you are contesting?
Well, the left has now won Pathanamthitta constituency, and the UDF would always claim it to be their bastion. Well, it's the Christian heartland
Yeah.
of central Kerala. But a change has been occurring in the last 2 decades, particularly after the rubber crisis. There has been a sharp deterioration in the standard of life for the people of mainly rubber cultivators. And there has been a tendency to move towards the latter. And it has become very visible in the local government elections and the assembly elections. In fact, left today control all the 7 assembly segments of Pathanamthitta. But when it comes to the parliament election, majority would shift to Congress. So left has now won that constituency.
Yeah, we can say that.
So that's the background.
So how certain you are to rewrite the history in Pathanamthitta, especially since the establishment of the constituency, like as we were talking about, like since 2009, the Congress has been winning the constituency, and simultaneously NDA, BJP-led NDA, also secured some significant vote share from the constituency from 7 to the 28. So this time, as we were talking about, like this is considered as a Christian area, and Pathanamthitta was the world's largest Christian convention, which is in the Maramat. So this time they have been widely criticized for their actions in Manipur. Like there is, the seasonal, seasoned leader of Congress on the one side, Anthony on the other side, Anil Anthony, where India is also making a significant, a vote. Yeah.
The new development in the last 2 decades has been rise of BJP. BJP peaked in the last 2019 election, winning really 29% of the votes. But their vote share came down to 16% the last assembly election.
Yeah.
But so BJP has become a player in the game. BJP attracted voters from the left as well as UDF. They are traditionally drawing uh, uh, supporters from UDF. But the Sablivara fiasco, many of the left Hindu voters shifted to BJP. Most of them did come back, the assembly elections to the left. But still, how much votes would BJP collect is an important factor, assuming that it will be once again from the UDF. Higher vote share of BJP, greater would be the chance of a less victory. That's how we started the initial calculations on the eve of the campaign. But Anil Antony, who is son of A.K. Antony, who is still CWC member, has thrown cold water over the Hindu far right. They would have liked somebody of their kind. Secondly, all BJP is hobnobbing with the church hierarchy. Many of which are forced. Nobody would like to play foul with the ED or central agencies. I don't know how much they have been forcing all these visits on the Christian clergy, but whatever it is, came to naught with Manipur. Catholic Bishop Conference of India came out very, very strongly against not only Manipur, attack against the Christians in many parts of India. So Kerala Christians were not threatened in that manner. They have been also forced to take up this all India line of the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Catholics. But Pathanamthitta has large segments of other denominations. Besides Catholics, there are Eastern churches, the Anglican churches, and so on. But generally, Manipur has become a damper, and there's little prospects. There's very little prospects of BJP winning any section of Christians. So BJP's vote share may rise from 16 to 17, 18. I don't think it is going to go beyond that. So it has been largely a fight between LDF and UDF.
Yeah. Right.
So if you take the UDF side, the biggest handicap for them has been the non-performance of the city MP. He's from my state then. They had their election consultant, Kalagolu, who has come out with a survey result. He didn't want him to be renominated again because performance is poor, anti-incumbency very high, and so on. So from the beginning, I started out with a positive program. Now, one, try to project the KIFBI projects, which comes to 7,000 crores in the constituency. But more than what has been done in the past, an agenda for development for the next 5 years, converting Pathanamthitta into the first knowledge economy district of Kerala. Kerala has declared next phase of development will be transforming Kerala into a knowledge economy. So we had a huge conclave of migrants. Each are the highest incidence of migration, Pathanamthitta. So how to involve migrants in starting enterprises, identifying jobs outside, transforming the higher education, setting up the social programs and so on. So based upon this conclave, an agenda was thrown up. So this was some very sharp contrast, my anti-incumbency and then a very positive, credible program drawn from below. So this was how the campaign started.
So talking about the KIFBI, so you are also aware that as the former finance minister, both the BJP and the Congress candidates have been accusing you of all the financial crisis that the state is facing. Both of them are actively campaigning, where they were campaigning against you. And for a very long period of time, you are having a Tom and Jerry fight with the ED also. So will you be able to, shed some light on those
Now,
fights and the Kifbi's contribution for the, Kerala's, elevation journey, like how it elevated Kerala as a society?
with the FRBM Act in force for the last 2 decades, no state can overborrow. That's simple. Very simple statement is there may be a hangover of the past borrowing pre-FRBM state. Otherwise, more or less, everybody keeps in tune. And if it takes states as a whole, their borrowing has been below 3%, below 3%. So it's all totally humbug. Okay, there may be some debt stress and so on, depending upon how you look at it. But I go by the economic dictum: as long as your GDP growth rate is higher than the rate of interest that you are paying for the debt is sustainable. That is the classic statement. I stand by that. I don't care for the rest of the rigmarole. So, but now the budgetary resources are very limited. Kerala has been underinvesting in infrastructure. There's a huge infrastructure deficit which has to be overcome immediately so that Kerala's GDP accelerate. Gainful employment is generated in Kerala. This is a big challenge. Our transition to knowledge economy, the infrastructure deficit has to be overcome. Now, how do you finance that? So here's a new challenge. We have been investing in social sectors very different from rest of India. Now we want to catch up with the infrastructure. How do you finance that? So annuity programs are very common in India. Government tenders a project. The contractor will have to borrow and construct it. Government will repay over an annuity spread over 20 years. 15 years. But I made a calculation of the implicit interest rate. We found that the implicit interest rate is something like 20%, 12 to 20%, preposterous. Therefore, I said, not only that, government can borrow. Government institution can borrow at 7-8% with appropriate government guarantee. Then government pay the annuity to this institution. So we made a KIFBI, which paid an annuity of half the motor vehicles tax every year. And this future flow of income is securitized in the current borrowing. And is given a mandate to construct the infrastructure. So it is smooth. Government liability is strictly limited to the motor vehicles tax. How can we create a fiscal crisis? But the last 6 years, this payment has been going on, nothing happened. No crisis happened. So it's simply crisis engineered by central government. Central government also has off-budget borrowing. It is not counted as part of the central government debt. No states is so far been counted, but they have changed the rules from 2019 saying KIFBI off-budget borrowing would be part of the state government borrowing. Therefore, state government borrowing, normal borrowing is slashed. And that creates a crisis, you see. So it's government of India engineered crisis, and the opposition will be to cover it up and say, it's our fault. But it didn't matter very much in my election campaign, though very vigorously tried to confuse people. For a simple reason, there were 7,000 crores of rupees, roads, buildings, bridges all coming up. So I simply asked, do you want all this? So do you agree with the UDF? that these were unnecessary. We are taking undue risk by doing all this. Shall we go back to old road? Oh, they laugh, yeah. I mean, that's the answer. That settles it. So you say this old engineered by jealous people, central government, Kerala doing so much better. People understand. So that is not a big issue. For me, at least I didn't feel, though they were trying to make it a big issue.
Yeah. So another question is regarding Congress leader Rahul Gandhi visited Kerala for the campaign for the election. He's also contesting from Kerala. So during that time, he was calling for the arrest of the Kerala's chief minister, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. They did the same thing in Delhi. They have also called upon for the investigation against the Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal. And but the Congress and the CPIM and other NDF members are also part of the India Alliance, India bloc. This confusion, this contradiction is rolling out for the populists, those who are already tired with or done with the BJP-led NDA's rule in the country, and those who are looking for an alternative force to be in the power.
And CPM's understanding has always been that you can have a all India electoral alliance at the present juncture. It will have to be suited to the conditions existing in each state. And that's what is happening. In Kerala, it will be preposterous to suggest that LDF, UDF come together to fight who? BJP. BJP is not they don't have a single seat. So, in fact, that will be counterproductive. Any such understanding. It will be vacating the opposition space to BJP. So in Kerala, left and Congress would have to fight with each other. In 2004, the left won entirely. Congress, not a single seat Congress could win on Kerala. But the 18 left members in the parliament didn't have any hesitation to support Manmohan Singh, UPA won. So this is all something that happened. So because Congress lost second consecutive term, the legislature, they have gone crazy in Kerala. Totally negative politics they have been playing. And then throwing up absurd charges against chief minister and so on. Very different style from the normal political activities in Kerala. Very abnormal, the one-sided. Normally left the opposition and the government forces cooperate in doing certain positive things, though they have been very factional, very serious differences, but still there is an arena of cooperation. For the last 2 years, there have been zero area of cooperation. So now it is in this contest that Rahul Gandhi comes to contest from Kerala. Now I don't know why he should be fighting in North India, fighting BJP, then coming to Kerala. Maybe he thinks it's a safe seat. Nothing is safe for him outside here, I don't know. But it's still very different. But he comes here. Maybe he thinks his presence would help Cong UDF to win, like last time, 19 seats from Kerala. That's a big number. Whatever reasons, logic, he has come here. But when he comes to fight from Kerala, he should behave still like All India leader here. But he descends into the depths of mushy pond of petty Kerala politician. Wondering why the Chief Minister of Kerala is not still outside, not locked up by ED. is something, I don't know how he could, India leaders say this. He had made similar statement against
I think.
Aam Aadmi Chief Minister Kejriwal. But then he retracted and protested against them. But he didn't make this statement. I don't know if he was trying to make an encore of the same here in Kerala. But he, to me, in my mind, he lost a lot of stature. Because after all, he is the leader of Congress and India front, well, he would have to play an important role. He should behave like a statesman. Kind of facade he was trying to pick up in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. But suddenly he came back to his old self here. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate. So that also shows that the fight in Kerala is in favor of the left today. And that's what makes all these UDF people very nervous, make them make all these ridiculous statements. But still, the left in Kerala would say, when we get elected, we will help India front to form the government. That's the political. The first statement we made. Why do you contest in the election? I start with the answer to see there is a India government, Indian government alternative or the center. But we will be a corrective force. So our political line is very clear on that. It's unfortunate that he did all those antics. But as I told you, this is also reflection of the anxiety and nervousness of the UDF.
Right. So this time BJP is campaigning saying that "Ab ki baar 400 par," this time 400 plus. That was their, tagline, of facing the Lok Sabha election. But unlike in 2014 and 19, the ground is not that much in favorable, ground is not favorable for the BJP and various, across the country. Earlier in 2019, there was a wave, Modi nahi to kaun, who. So all the media created this narrative. So what is CPIM's expectation contesting from 58 seats, and what is the alternate India that they are keeping?
Modi is 400 and above, included double digits seats from Kerala. They won't win a single seat from Kerala. 2 zeros. That's it. So now Modi himself, this is over 400. He's fighting to retain his last number. It looks very unlikely. He's sharing a defeat. So CPM is very clear. We will support all alternate move to form an alternative government. We will not be any hindrance. We want Modi to be removed from power. But as to whether there will be a common minimum program, like QPA arrangement, all this will decide only after the electoral results are out. Anyway, the battle lines are drawn now. So we are concentrating on the campaign. So rather than looking forward, what should be once in the alternative comes, etc. We have our alternative. We'll try to influence from that position the agenda of the alternative government that comes. How much we will be able to influence also will depend upon how many members do we have in the Lok Sabha. We hope to do pretty well from Kerala. That's very clear. Pathanamthitta, for example, we have now one night I told you, but I'm going to win it. Same. So similarly, is the case with most of the constituencies. We are very hopeful of a good victory. So after that, depending upon depending upon the numbers, we would also be able to influence the outcome of the new government. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah. So recently, this news of on the polling day, on the second phase of the polling day, Kerala was heading towards the polling stations. This news of CPIM Central Committee member E.P. Jayarajan is defected to BJP. That was the headlines. I mean, at least media narrative that was going on for the whole day. What is your, take on this whole development on the day of elections?
Why should any CPM leader go to BJP? So there is no rationale, because he is already a very senior leader in Kerala. How can you expect to have higher pedestal, higher status in the BJP? So it's all a story cooked up to embarrass CPM and to use it against the CPM. So we have examined it and asked certain corrections, like Ipajar's character is very open to everybody. Everybody can meet him, talk to him, etc. So he said no. Certain people should not be open. Secondly, ask him to take legal action against those who have been spreading the stories. And party has temporarily closed the whole issue there. But it also lays bare how BJP's approach to winning over opposition leaders. They use middlemen, they use money, they use promise of posts, because that's what they keep on saying. How much money has transacted to the middleman, then what kind of posts have been offered, this, that, etc. They have no sense of shame, and they would call it Operation Lotus, and so Kerala, Operation Lotus. So they have been making these approaches to various leaders. They succeeded with a daughter of Karnagaran, the former chief minister of Kerala, of Congress.
Yeah, that was the
So
the left was criticizing the Congress for Padmaja was defecting to the BJP, and
but the fact remains that it has been denied. It has been denied, and he has filed a suit against all those people who made the allegations.
So another criticism emerged against the left in Kerala was that they are not taking up the national issues. They were not taking up the national issues during this Lok Sabha elections in the states. But in the CPIM Central Committee on the Politburo are a very staunch critic of the far-right regime that we have right now in the country. But in the state, they were talking about the CAA, but mostly the campaign was in and around the local politics here, and to defend the rights or protect the Kerala's rights. So
the best contribution we can make to the left movement in India is to keep the flag flying here. Okay, that's point number one. I think it will take another term in Kerala before we get out of the present state of affairs in the rest of most of India. Two, there's a big difference in the political situation in Kerala and outside. BJP is not the main threat within Kerala. It's a fight between LDF and UDF. So the kind of tactics which you deploy outside cannot be transported into Kerala. Very different. So that is the second reason.
But it
Third, you have a government here, and the opposition campaign is attacking the government. So you have to defend the government. Of course, all the leaders are here. We are all who speak about every speech would begin with the political speech removing Modi. That's understood. But beyond that, it is against Modi, and so the election fight, in actually political fight in Kerala, would be related to issues within Kerala, for the reasons I told you about. It's not ignoring all India factors and so. The Kerala is located within this broad all India thing, and our political position has been the tactics in each state will have to depend upon the concrete situation of the state.
right. So I have two questions left. So coming back to the rubber belt that we were talking about, the Pathanamthitta is the central Travancore region has predominantly relied upon the rubber cultivation. So farmers organizations now have approached the Supreme Court against the cartels, and also they have been for a very long time asking for government of India to withdraw from the ASEAN free trade agreement. In this elections, I was also traveling across the constituencies, and LDF on one hand was promising for the resolving the issues with the farmers, and surprisingly NDA and the UDF are also promising the same thing. So what do you have to say? Because it was the UDF of the Congress. Yeah.
I would argue, as I've done in almost my speeches, what is the relevance of the left? It is proved by the experience of rubber in Kerala, which has been destroyed, undermined by the ASEAN agreement brought by Congress.
Yeah.
But when did Congress sign this treaty? Not under UPA 1, where the left opposed and defeated it. But under UPA 2, where there was no left to challenge the move to sign this ASEAN agreement. If there was left, you would not have permitted it. So, if you want to save rubber, then a big presence in the left is necessary to influence the policies. I think it's very convincing argument why there should be left.
So, my last question is that the world is opening towards a multipolar world. We are at least hoping for that, and the tendencies can be visible. So, as a parliamentarian, how you would like to steer the India's foreign policies, and what is, how do you see this development?
What are the key central issues that foreign policy should be concerned with at this present moment, Palestinian question? The least developed countries, their rights. And I think we should, as a parliamentarian group, should push India government to take a more proactive role towards these two issues. Second would be the issue of climate change and climate justice. So even here, that's not India government. India government will have to take a more concerted stand with the other developing countries. That leadership role should come from India, which has been lacking. So these are the two issues. And third, I would add, say, the countries which have been taking more or less independent position vis-a-vis US imperialism, try to build bridges with them, strengthening the bricks, So these are issues I would be very concerned with.
Thank you so much for speaking with The Wire, and we will definitely would like to see you after the election, the results comes, and all the very best.
Stay tuned to The Wire for more comprehensive report on Lok Sabha elections. Especially, we'll be bringing you latest updates from the ground.